Koyah Rivera, and on today's show, we're going to talk about preparing for school and life success. Because I know that there's some children out there, imagine this, a child with no dreams, no hopes, and no inspiration, no plans for school or life success. Today we're going to speak to that child, and we're going to offer some suggestions on how to develop that plan. And I'm joined by my panelists, so let's first start out by introducing each of our panelists. Geraldine?
Hi, my name is Geraldine Blackston Ramos. I'm a 30-year education advocate and parent involvement specialist.
Okay. Novelist?
My name is Novelist. I'm a producer and artist here, and I perform on the stage here and done commentary here before. I'm just trying to get back to the kids.
Okay. And Gabby?
Hi, I'm Gabby. I'm a student and I attend EFEX.
And my name is Tony Wilkerson. I have a BA degree in religion and Christian ministries, and I'm still in that journey of discovering my lane.
Well, that's actually what we're talking about today, and I don't hear my music. We are going to have background music that's coming in, but before that happens, let's go ahead and go to the bin. Who wants to pull first? All right. See, there's our music.
What would you say to a parent out there that might think their child isn't going to accomplish much in school or life?
I'd like to take a shot at that. What I would say to a parent who thinks that their child doesn't have a shot at life, the first thing I'd like to say to that parent is that you have to have confidence in your child. Because if you don't have confidence in that child, how can they have confidence in themselves? The first stage of learning begins in the home. And the parent is the first teacher of a child. So if I'm telling my child that you're not going to be accessed, then that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And parents, your children can only be as good as you make them. Don't ever sell yourself short by saying that I can't help my child, because when you find that you can't help your child, then you do everything that you can to find the resources that can. Always be involved with your school. And I'm going to always say to parents, think of your school as the babysitter or I tell in my language, I say your baby's daddy. If you send a child to the baby's father and the baby's father has a friend and you're not on good terms with that friend, do you feel safe about that? Do you feel good about that? No, you don't. Then think of the school as I tell my girls in the neighborhood, I say, think of the school as the baby's daddy. And think of the school as the baby daddy's girlfriend. If you send the baby to baby daddy and baby daddy's girlfriend is there, then if you and baby daddy's girlfriend are not on a good working relationship,
right?
on good terms, then what do you think happens to the child? So you must be on good terms with your school.
So what you're saying is actually be involved in their education, be an active participant. And coming from the teaching perspective, it's amazing how many students have told me over the years that their parents told them that they're not going to do anything, they're not going to be anything, especially when they have a record of failure.
Right.
If they've not done well academically. So what I would say to parents is always believe in your children. Do not ever speak words that are damaging to them.
Yes, right.
Do not do that under any circumstances. You
Under any
always have to believe
circumstances.
in your children. Even if they've shown you things that aren't necessarily
not positive.
the best thing,
Right.
it's for you to be supportive. Let's pull another question.
I think I'll take the next question. Okay, it says, what would you say to the mother or parent or student who has put off their dreams and settled for the fact it's not going to happen or given up on pursuing their passion even? I would say that it's never ever the end until your final resting day. So I think you should keep pursuing your dream because you started out with goals and ambitions, and you should complete the mission per se. If your mission is
It's
to take
funny
it to the
though,
top,
novelists, because when we were children, we all dream and we all should,
Yeah.
but somewhere along the lines,
We lose.
what happens? Do you want to
Sometimes we
speak
lose
to
it.
that?
I had just come out of that stage where I've almost given up on my dreams. But God had reminded me of a scripture verse that says, that he would not break a bruised reed, nor will he snuff out a flickering flame. And to me, that means that he is the one that puts the flame, that dream, that passion inside of us. And no matter what happens, no matter how much we think it's just died out, he's still gonna keep it there inside of you. And so I strongly believe we shouldn't give up on that. I mean,
you gotta believe in yourself.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in yourself, then no one else will believe in you. You just gotta have that core want to do what you got to do. You know, that's what makes it a passion. You know, because it's something you might not be getting paid for at the time. It's just something you just put your time into. So, you know, I don't like to waste my time. So anything I do, I would like to, you know, at least try to achieve a goal.
And it's never too late. It is never too late.
Right.
Never too late.
There might be a lot of parents listening as well. You might not have gone to college, but you might have always thought, you know what, I wish I could go back. There are a lot of programs now that have evening classes where you can go one night a week. And online now.
On weekend.
There are many resources out there. I think the bottom line is you can still do it.
It's gotta be you.
Okay, one more question.
Why don't I do this one? Let's see. Okay. If I know I have a God-given gift or ability, should I use that gift and do something with it, and why?
This is Beyond Gifted, so we
Beyond
need to
Gifted.
talk about gifts. So anybody want to
It
comment?
is very important to use our gifts.
Why?
If we don't, they can die out to a point where we can lose it.
And when it
But-
dies, you don't feel very good about
Self-esteem,
yourself.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you're in the wrong career field or you're doing that which is passionless, it's not a good place to be. But continue what you're saying.
If you are gifted in something, let's just say like a dancer. If a dancer doesn't dance, that person's going to be miserable. You know, everything in their life is just not going to fall into place for them. But you have to be involved with what makes you alive, because that's what our gifts do. They make us feel alive and
Makes you feel good. And
and
cause for something.
exactly.
You know, I'm reminded of two scriptures when we talk about the gifts. One, and I'm not good at quoting scriptures, you know, numbers and whatever, but there's a scripture that talks about a man, 3 men, who I think they were going to visit Jesus or whatever. Anyway, God gave them 3 gifts. And the first man, he took his gifts and in other words, he multiplied it times 1 or 2 or whatever. The second man, I'm kind of paraphrasing it.
Yeah,
The
that's
second
fine.
man, he took his gift and he multiplied it by 3, 4, 5 maybe. Well, the other man took his gift and he hid it under, he put it in the ground. And so when the men came back to face the Lord, the question was, you know, what have you done with the gifts that you've been given? And so the first man said, oh Lord, you know, I took your gift and look, you know, I've multiplied it by 2. The other man took his gift and he said, oh God, look, I took your gift and I multiplied it times 5. Well, the other man said to the Lord, Lord, you know, I feared, because I know that you're an awesome God, and I feared that if I did not have this gift when you came back, I feared what would happen to me. And the Lord said to him, cursed be you, wicked man.
Wow. So I guess what Geraldine is saying is we don't want to be in that situation.
We don't want to be in that situation.
We do not. And to wrap this up, because our time is actually over for our discussion segment, we're actually going to throw over to Geraldine for our Did You Know segment.
All right. Did you know that there are what we call the pathways in our educational system now? They're called, as I said, pathways. Many parents leave it up to their child from the transition from the 8th grade to the 9th grade. Many parents leave that decision up to their child to choose what courses that they take. So many of these children, they will choose the certificate of completion. Now, one of the things that parents need to know about choosing the certificate of completion is that it puts a lot of limitations on your child. But number one, if that child chooses a certificate of completion, they cannot go to college. They cannot go to college. Not even a community college. So we need to be very knowledgeable about what courses our children are taking. Very knowledgeable. Never talk to your counselors. Find out about what, I think there's 16 different tracks, but never let your child choose the certificate of completion because it limits them very much. So that's that for Did You Know?
Okay, well now I am going to throw it over to Iman, the professor, and the DJ to see what they have to say about today's topic.
What's going on, y'all? Black man, what you think about the discussion about the topics today?
I feel like that
But anyway, we got a question from out of the bucket, and my boy Genesis is gonna read the question.
The question is, have you ever had something miraculous happen in your life, or have you ever had a near-death experience or a major wake-up call? If so, what did you learn from it?
I answer to that. Me, myself, I had heart surgery and so many different things I went through in my life to bring me to where I am now doing gospel rap and, you know, encouraging the young people like my brothers right here. But you know what, yo, y'all stick tuned, and we gonna be back with more Beyond Gifted.
You take that.